All right, welcome back to the Fantasy Football School. Today we're gonna do my first version NFL mock draft round one plus Carolina's. The free agency just is probably slowly dwindling down. Needs are more clear for each team. Just not well versed in the top 20 defensive players and offensive tackles and fits. Although for the fantasy players, I know I've scouted them. I know more about them than the rest of the players, so bear with me here. But anyways, let's go on with the first version of my mock draft here. And with the first pick at 101 is Chicago Bears. Finally traded Justin Fields, so becoming more clear, although it should have been clear from the beginning, but they really fumbled that Justin Fields trade. They waited too long and eventually netted only a 6th round pick. Conditionally can turn into a 4th, but most likely it will be a 6 unless Russ gets hurt. I think it's Russ' job. It's not even gonna be a competition, honestly. Bill just hasn't progressed as a passer, so. Anyways, with a 101, fairly easy pick here. It's gonna be Caleb Williams. 102 is a little harder here. So, the GM, the coach, is what's his name? Dan Quinn. GM's from the Niners. Forget his name. Adam Peters. From the 49ers. I think they're gonna lean towards that pocket passer build. Although there's a lot of smoke that they signed Marcus Mariota. So that means you're leaning Jaden Daniels, but Drake May is also an athletic quarterback that can run. If anything, he's closer to Mariota than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels an electric runner. Although Mariota was a good runner, he was never in that tier that Jaden Daniels is. He's slightly better runner than Drake May in terms of wiggle, but he's nowhere near Jaden Daniels' stratosphere. So I think Washington, if they're smart, should take Drake May here. Only 21. And they're basically rebuilding here. They're traded a lot of the older players. They did sign a bunch of veterans, but that should only, to create the culture that they want to create in this new ownership. So Drake May, 102. And then there's been a lot of talk that New England would trade out here, but it only makes sense if they trade out of the top 8. Anything further than that doesn't make any sense here. So, like I said, they have had a preference in quarterback build like stature, and I don't think they'll go Jaden Daniels here. They probably hope that Drake May fell, but since he didn't, it's probably the first surprise of the mock draft here. I don't think they're enamored with Jaden Daniels. He's a little older. He's slender. They want someone like that's a pocket passer that can run a pro style offense, because all the moves they've made in free agency have been underwhelming, especially on offense. They have Kendrick Bourne and I think KJ Osborne today, and just terrible offense. So they're gonna want someone that could learn. Jacoby Brissett is not a terrible quarterback, so he's a pretty good bridge quarterback. And if you're gonna take bridge quarterback like that, I think you're gonna draft someone with a lot more potential that's not at least pro ready, that you want to sit at least half the season. I think they're gonna go JJ McCarthy here. He's young, and then they're most likely they'd rather had him sit half or actually the whole season. Their weapons kind of trash on offense. If they take Jaden Daniels, he's more pro ready than JJ, and I don't think they want to throw him out there with this crappy offensive weapons. That's why I think they're gonna go JJ. Then at 104, with Arizona here sitting down, if they trade out of the top 10, it's gonna ruin the value that they're gonna get. It's Marvin Harrison or like tier 3 receiver plus not getting the value that you want. So as much as I want them to trade out, or as much as I want somebody to trade up, I think they're gonna stay and take Marvin Harrison Jr. here. The Chargers, I think they're more likely to trade out because Jim Harbaugh has a vision, and I don't think he wants to draft a receiver this early, even though they did trade trade Keenan and cut Mike Williams. So this is our first trade of the mock draft, and it's gonna be the where's LAC at? There you go. It's gonna be the Minnesota Vikings because first they have the capital, and second it can't be the Denver Broncos because they're division rivals. Too much. All right, so maybe like a fourth. No, man, this thing is. There you go. Oh, I don't have to do that. Oh, there you go. So 105 for 111 and 123, and then they got a third in the future. So let's make this happen. Minnesota, we'll get Jaden Daniels here. I think a lot of reports have been saying Minnesota loves Drake May or JJ McCarthy, but they can't. If they're both gone, they gotta swing for Jaden Daniels. Otherwise, they gotta be stuck with Sam Darnold, which is serviceable, but you just, I don't know, man. Trading for 23, just they gotta move up, right? Anyways, New York Giants. This is their dream scenario. Somebody trades up, and Malik Nabers or Marvin Harrison falls to them. If somebody trades up in front of them, for sure they're trading for a quarterback. So this, a lot of the smoke that they're trying to trade up for a quarterback is baloney to me. They need to improve their offensive weapons. I think if Nabers wasn't here, I think they would have taken Joe Alt, but Nabers is perfect for the Giants. They'll give Daniel Jones another year and then most likely cut him if he doesn't improve at all. It's not a bad option here because even if they do get rid of Daniel Jones next offseason, they have that, you know, offensive weapon for the next quarterback that they're going to get. So win-win. Instead of reaching for a quarterback and then throwing him to that crappy offense with no weapons, this is a much better long-term outlook for the Giants. Although if they do really bad this upcoming season, this front office might get canned. So that's why I think it makes sense for them to swing for a quarterback to like prolong their job, save their job. But I don't see it. Anyways, Tennessee lucked out here. Joe Alt, they already improved their offensive weapons with Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley. So best bet is to get Joe Alt. Brock Bowers would be a good option here, actually. But man, they need to protect Will Levis and give him a chance to, you know, have some time in the pocket to make throws, because he didn't have that in those like 5 stars that he had. So Joe Alt, no brainer, I guess. Atlanta, although, you know, Odunze would have been amazing here. I think they need to improve their defense because they've improved their offense a lot. You gotta even it out here a little bit. So they go Dallas Turner, the best defensive player with the highest ceiling, although he's not the most pro ready right now. I think it's Verse and Latu, but he has the most potential. So Dallas Turner. Then Chicago lucked out here. Rome Odunze, 3-headed receiving option. Actually 4-headed. They got DJ Moore, Keenan, Cole Kmet, now Rome Odunze. So this is how you make sure your quarterback succeeds. And then the Jets, I would go Fashanu here, but they did bring in a lot of help on their O-line, so they could add more weapons on offense. They only have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, that's it. And they are bringing Mike Williams for a visit, which would be a good option. But they also have Conklin as their tight end 1, which is not good if you want to compete in the East, AFC in general. So I think they go Brock Bowers here. Another weapon for Aaron Rodgers. And then the Chargers. What's his name? Jim Harbaugh wants to build this like the Michigan, and he wants strong running game, strong defense. He restructured Bosa and Khalil Mack, so they cut all the receivers. So I'm thinking Olaf Fashanu here, which makes sense. Also, I like Quinyon Mitchell or Terran Arnold here, but they need to build the trenches first. In Denver, I think it's too early for Bo Nix or Michael Penix here. I think they go to the best. They want that shutdown corner on each side. Arnold and forgetting his name. shutdown corner for Denver. But anyways, Arnold 1-2 punch, gonna be elite secondary there. Then Vegas, they did lose Illuminor, but I'm guessing they need to improve the O-line, give Minshew and that running game more, like ability to run that offense, because they said they want to play defense, right? So if you want to play defense, you gotta have a great running game, and you gotta improve your O-line. So going Talisi Fuaga for the right tackle. New Orleans, I never know who to give New Orleans because they need receiver help. They need edge help because what's his name is getting old. But they're also in that purgatory where they're not young and they're not old. So I think they need someone that could play right away, and I think that's Jared Verse. Then Indy, their defense was good last year, so they need to improve their offense. Alec Pierce is nothing more than a fourth receiver. Honestly, they need to replace him. Although Mitchell would be a perfect fit here, apparently they're trading for Snead. So let's assume they traded for Snead here, L'Jarius Snead. So they need to replace Alec Pierce, and I think Brian Thomas with Anthony Richardson would be amazing here. So I'm thinking they go Brian Thomas because he would complement Michael Pittman and Josh Downs. That's a good trio of young receivers there. Seattle, I like Byron Murphy. Their edge are pretty good, but I think they need interior lineman help, and I think they go JPJ here. I think it's a reach over all these tackles that's available, but they have good tackles that played well 2 years ago, so they're hoping they could bounce back, and JPJ would be a perfect addition to their O-line. And then the Jaguars, their score is garbage right now. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Zay Jones. I love Kirk, but he's not a wide receiver one in terms of he can rely on. So they need someone else better. I was hoping Ridley came back, but hey, get your bag, homie. I'm mad. So, but anyways, I would have liked Brian Thomas here. I would have liked AD Mitchell, but AD Mitchell is kind of a reach, especially with the talent on defense. And Quinyon Mitchell is my QB1, CB1 here. Perfect fit for that man-to-man defense that our new DC will install. So Quinyon Mitchell, I don't think he lasts this long in the draft, but perfect. I hope the Jags take him. Quinyon Mitchell. In Cincinnati, they lost Jonah Williams. They need defensive help, although I think they signed a safety. But anyways, I'm going interior here. They also lost, forget his name, their DT that was playing pretty well, but I think they need to protect Joe Burrows here. Going JC Latham, another tackle from Alabama that they love. And then the Rams, that's probably the easiest pick here. Byron Murphy, because Aaron Donald just retired. Pitt needs a receiver. I think Mitchell is a perfect fit here. They do have Pickens on the outside. Adonai Mitchell's more that Calvin Ridley that can, great route runner. He's like pretty much Deontay Johnson, except he's bigger, faster, but not as polished as a route runner, but it's still pretty good. Better route runner than Pickens for sure. So I think they go Adonai Mitchell here. And Miami needs O-line help because they essentially lost everyone. Only problem is, I don't know who's a much better fit, Mims or Fotnu. I think Mims tested better at the combine, and they like their O-line to be more athletic in that scheme that they run. So there is Mims. And Philly, they signed edge free agency, gave him good money, so I think they go corner here. But I can't decide between Nate Wiggins and Cooper DeJean. I think Cooper is a better fit. And then Chargers, so they go OT. They might go receiver here, but kind of a reach. They do need another corner. They do need another edge because Mac is old, but they're still productive. I think they go. How does Harbaugh like more physical corner or? It's hard. They also need interior D-line help. I think they go Jerzon Noon. Their corner is what? Is a CB2 at best. I think they go Kool-Aid McKinstry. All right. Dallas needs OT help. Fatanu or Guyan. I think they go Fatanu here. Green Bay lost. They need another corner. They signed McKinney at safety. Nate Wiggins doesn't fit their RAS because he's smaller. They need someone more physical. They also need interior. Let's just go Wiggins because they need secondary or corner help here. Tampa, I think they would have gone Wiggins if he fell, but I think they need edge help. Shienko hasn't been that good. In Arizona, who'd they pick? Marvin Harrison. Alright, so they need D-line help. This is where Jerzon Newton would go here. And Buffalo need edge help. This is Chop Robinson. Although wide receiver is good here, but if they keep Diggs and they sign what's his name? And they sign Curtis Samuel, so that's still pretty good. You don't need to reach for a wide receiver here. Although Worthy would have been a good option, but Pearsall, Roman are also a good option in the second round, assuming they make it there. Plus their defense needs help. They lost a lot of players, so I'm going Chop Robinson here. And then Detroit, they did sign interior D-line, but I think they go interior O-line here to Glasgow's replacement, and it's going to be Graham Barton. In Baltimore, they do need a receiver. Just Zay Flowers, that's it. They have Bateman, he sucks. Xavier Worthy, actually not bad. He'd be the Hollywood Brown replacement. He's my comp for Hollywood Brown, so I think they go Xavier Worthy here. In San Francisco, they need O-line help. I don't know if Guyan fits their scheme, but he is the best available OT here. But actually, nah. Let's make a trade here. 49ers trades with Denver. Wait, they don't have a second round pick? Oof, man, that's terrible. They don't have a 25 first either? What the heck is this? Alright, that's not gonna work. So they go Tyler Guyan here. I was trying to have Denver trade up, but they have nothing. I wonder where their picks are. There's not good for them to get a quarterback. So KC pick 32. They do need receiver, a third one for sure, because Rice, Hollywood, and a bunch of scrubs. But I think they're there's been talks that they are gonna trade Snead. I think they go corner here. Ennis Rakestraw fits their scheme. With the last pick in this mock draft, Carolina. So they need a receiver. They also need edge help. There's a chance they sign Chase Young. So I'm gonna give Bryce Young help. They have Deontay. They have Mingo, who was, I don't know what happened there. He was trash. Then Ladd would be a perfect understudy for what's his name? Thielen, but I think they need a big body receiver. Keon Coleman play the X, Mingo play the slot, and Deontay the outside. That's a perfect trio. And then, Thielen still gonna be the starter. So Keon Coleman, although Darius Robinson was a good pick here, but you need to improve your franchise here. So we're gonna go with Keon Coleman. That's it for mock draft version 1.0.